Tonight, the Oregon Ducks host number 9 Missouri to MacArthur Court in Eugene, Oregon. The action from the Great Northwest right now.
The time is now, the place is here. Stop running, face your fear. When it all comes down to this, you only get one shot, can't afford to miss. The time is now, the place is here. Stop running, face your fear. When it all comes down to this, you only get one shot, can't afford to miss. So, let's get it, let's go. Go hard and go home.
From historic MacArthur Court in Eugene, Oregon, welcome to the Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series presented by Toyo Tires. Tonight, the number 9 Missouri Tigers take on the Oregon Ducks. Well, here's what has happened so far in the Hardwood Series between the Big 12 and the Pac-10. USC beaten by Nebraska 60-58 on Saturday. Baylor tonight, number 11 in the country, beating Arizona State 68-54. Kansas, UCLA underway. Welcome, everybody, along with Rebecca Harlow, Marcus Johnson. I'm Kevin Calabro. Well, Marcus, this will give both coaches a pretty good read on where their teams are as they head into conference play.
It is a barometer game, and especially considering the loss Missouri suffered to Georgetown in the last seconds in that game, and then Duke came in to Portland and just annihilated Oregon last weekend. So it's a bounce-back situation for both ball clubs.
Yeah, it was an overtime loss in Kansas City for number 9 Missouri, and a high-scoring game, 111-102. Some bright sides for the Missouri Tigers. Their offense led by the junior Marcus Denman.
Yeah, 111 points. Marcus Denman had 27 of those, but he leads this team in scoring, and he's not just a one-trick pony, more than just a jump shooter. He does a nice job mixing up his offense. He also takes it to the basket strong. He's particularly tough in transition, getting out and finishing, but he understands more than most that if you do not play defense in Mike Anderson's system, you do not play. He's come off the bench over a couple of games over the past few.
Well, Marcus, Mike Anderson, the coach of Missouri, has a couple of promising newcomers by the name of Pressey. They are the sons of Paul Pressey, the former NBA star. With more on the story, here's Rebecca Harlow.
Bill and Matt Pressey certainly getting used to calling Mike Anderson coach versus Uncle Mike. If you take a look back, Paul Pressey and Mike Anderson won the 1981 NIT championship together at Tulsa under Nolan Richardson. I caught up with Matt Pressey, and he tells me, I chose Missouri because Coach A holds you accountable in a system I believe in. He said the fact that I get to play alongside my brother, and for who a coach I consider family, is a great opportunity and just the cherry on top. Guys, it's a win-win all the way around.
Rebecca, thanks very much. Now, Oregon's got to bounce back. Duke took it to them with a much bigger team, number 1 in the country. They've got number 9 Missouri here. Jovan Catron, 6'6", 245. He represents their power in the middle.
Well, he has really embraced this 2-1-2 offensive system. He is the one at the high post, and he's isolated against the big a lot of the times where he can use his quicks. You mentioned the size, 245 pounds, so a lot of times he can create space by using that size. A terrific offensive rebounder, 18 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals against Duke. Jovan Catron has got to make this offense go tonight. He's got to be trapped, so he's got to be aware of that and get rid of the basketball and be strong and aggressive, Kevin, in those traps.
All of that.
Strong.
And Dana Altman, the new coach at Oregon, again, his ball club tested with a top 10 team in this week in Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series action tonight from the Northwest. The Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series is presented by Toyo The Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series is presented by Toyo Tires. Toyo Tires, driven to perform. And brought to you in part by Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is giving away over $1 million in tuition. Go to drpepper.com for details. Welcome, everybody, to the Great Northwest, Eugene, Oregon, MacArthur Court, where number 9 Missouri will meet Oregon. Take a look now at the lineups here this evening. Brought to you by Toyo Tires. First for the Missouri Tigers, Kim English, a junior, Marcus Dedman, the junior, and Michael Dixon, the sophomore. All guards up front, Lawrence Bowers and Ricardo Ratliff, the junior. They are coached by Mike Anderson, now in his 5th year at Missouri. Formerly an assistant at Tulsa for Arkansas for 17 years, and a head coach at UAB before taking the Missouri job. The Oregon Ducks lineup brought to you by Toyo Tires. Malcolm Armstead, a junior, Garrett Sim, the junior, J.R. Strowbridge, Jovan Catron, and E.J. Singler, the sophomore, for the Ducks this evening. And they are coached by Dana Altman. Altman, 16 years at Creighton prior to taking this job here in Oregon. Just this summer, the rebuilding program begins here in Oregon with Altman taking over. A good X's and O's coach who led Creighton to 7 NCAA tournament bids. Dan Altman, a fiery coach who has coached at Marshall, had a stint at Kansas State. 2 NIT appearances in that period of time. 327 victories at Creighton, 11 straight seasons with 20-plus wins. He has over 400 coaching victories on his resume in Division I basketball.
3rd all-time winningest coach in Missouri Valley Conference history behind Henry Iba. We heard of him. And then Ed Hickey, who also coached at Creighton along with Marquette and St. Louis. So some very, very rare company for Dana Altman. One thing, Kevin, a couple of key guys not dressed tonight. Teandre Williams and Jeremy Jacob. So that's going to really hurt Oregon in terms of rebounding the basketball and athleticism.
And out of the corner, raising for a three-pointer and getting things started for this Missouri team is the fine shooting Kim English, junior out of Baltimore.
Kim English has been battling some ligament issues with his thumb on his shooting hand. Told me before the game it's feeling better and better, but that's a good start for him because he's really struggled to get a consistent stroke from the outside that allows Missouri to set up in that 2-2-1 zone pressure.
And a foul immediately called on the Ducks as they were attempting to set up inside offensively.
This 2-1-2 is predicated on screening and cutting. You got to have great execution in both areas. That time Oregon a little too aggressive on the screening end. Oregon's going to start out with some pressure of their own. They like to go 1-2-2, 3-quarter court, kind of change it up. A nice job inside. Jovan Catron giving up the body against Michael Dixon Jr. This is what you got to do. You don't have a shot blocker. You got to make some changes into your approach defensively. You can't get up there and challenge the shots. You got to slide over, get in front of that out of control, penetrating guard Michael Dixon, and give your team the possession.
Look at the pressure now applied by Missouri as they come to trap the ball. Singler with it. Singler sizes it up, swings it to midcourt.
You want to keep that entry pass from being entered below the free throw line as much as you can if you're Oregon to prevent that trap from being as effective.
Singler, nice ball fake, drives in, penetrates, had it slapped away, and Denman picks it up off the floor, running with Dixon to the glass, laid it in.
Points off turnovers. That's what makes these Tigers go. Last year led the country in forcing turnovers, also led the country forcing turnovers in terms of offense. 30% of teams of their opponent's offense led to turnovers.
Now, if you're attacking this zone, what's the first thing, the primary thing that the Ducks have to keep in mind here?
Well, you got to be strong with the basketball because you're always going to see traps. It's no rhyme or reason. Mike Anderson gives his team the green light to trap when they feel like they've got the advantage.
Singler avoids Bowers with a good look, but it won't go. Dixon the rebound and a man streaking out. That's English with the offhand to lay it in.
Then you got to have good transition defense if you're going to penetrate the gaps of Missouri's zone. You've got to make sure you've got that opposite guard, that opposite small guy rotating back to prevent that leak out easy bucket at the other end.
Missouri out on top of Oregon 7-0, just underway here in Oregon. Catron in deep, double, finds the open man. It's Garrett Sim for three. Rebound slapped away by Singler, grabbed by English off the floor. Here comes Dixon with the push into front court. They call it the fastest 40 minutes in basketball. In low as Bowers doubled. Outside it comes to Dixon.
Again, this defense is predicated, defense of Missouri is predicated on traps and hustle, and Oregon did a nice job in their 2-3 zone of their own. You're going to see a lot of that from them because they are shorthanded.
Running out on the rebound. Oregon attacking. That's one way to beat the zone, is grab the defensive rebound and get out of there. Dixon with his second foul. And Mike Anderson will have to go to the bench, and in comes one of the Pressey boys. And this is Phil Pressey, the freshman out of Dallas, 5'10", 168.
Terrific quickness, terrific athleticism. He is a YouTube sensation for a dunk he did in a summer tournament over a 6'9" player. Just kind of climbed up his body to throw it down. But again, it's an aggressive zone defense.
Armstead, the left-hander, raising. And grabbing the rebound is Bowers, and up the floor on a charge set. Singler gets in deep and draws the charge as Phil Pressey took it to the rim.
Second Missouri guard to come in out of control. Michael Dixon Jr. the first time. This time Philip Flip Pressey. He's got to do a better job. A nice solid jump stop. You've got to be aware when that defender's back there. That's all E.J. Singler, all the back line of the Oregon Ducks want to do. And once again, you enter the ball below the free throw line, you are inviting that aggressive trap. Not really playing the ball out of bounds, just looking to let you catch, then go get you.
Craytron will get the pass, cross court to Singler, clears midcourt. Dribble handoff to Sim. Balances the floor now. Oregon trying to get on the board. Strowbridge drives and kicks. Singler in the corner. Strowbridge driving baseline, met by two defenders. Got the rebound, stripped as he went up. Catron had it blocked. Blocked by Ratliff. Blocked by Sauer. It's loose to the inline and tapped out of bounds. And last touch by the Ducks. Counted at least 4 block shots there.
And look at that Missouri bench. Everybody up, everybody applauding that great effort on the part of the Missouri bigs inside. They just covered the cup between Bowers and Ratliff. Nothing happening on the inside for Oregon.
Singler outside. 2 on the shot clock. Strowbridge got rid of it, and the rebound claimed by Missouri. Here they come on the run. Number 9 in the country. Averaging 85 a game. Catron fronts the pass, taps it away. Recovered by the Ducks. Strowbridge trying to get to the rim, but blocked from behind, and a foul called on Missouri's Lawrence Bowers.
One thing certain, nothing's going to be easy for Oregon in the paint tonight. They're going to have to knock down some outside shots at some point. They keep trying to attack the paint. That time Strowbridge does a nice job of drawing the foul. But you've got 2 or 3 guys aggressively going for block shots every time you penetrate.
Take a look at the overtime now in Lawrence, Kansas, number 4 in the country, and UCLA tied at 76-76 in the Pac-10 Big 12 Hardwood Series, brought to you by Toyo Tires.
And that would be a terrific confidence booster for UCLA after what happened to them in New York against Villanova and Virginia Commonwealth in the preseason NIT.
Strowbridge knocks 2 down, and the Ducks are on the board. Now they try to pressure and get the ball out of the hands of Pressey. Marcus Denman will take it, coming off the bench last year, a starter this year as a junior. Long offering by Bowers off the mark. Bowers plays the passing lane, intercepts a lead pass, heads the other way. And it's rejected by Singler, and a heads-up play. And a timeout here in Eugene as Singler comes hustling down the floor to follow with a defensive play of his own after Bowers has stolen the outlet pass. Missouri on top early. The Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series between Missouri and Oregon underway, presented by Toyo Tires. Dana Altman, the new coach of the Oregon Ducks, knows he's got a lot of work ahead of him, and it begins with building from the fundamentals up.
Well, we've got a long ways to go, and fundamentally we're not very sound, and that's my job to improve that. And we are playing a different style than what the young men are used to, so it's just going to take a while for us to get fundamentally sound and to get our system in place.
Well, we had the occasion to see Altman coach a practice yesterday afternoon, and he is energized from beginning to end.
Yes, he is indeed, and fundamentals is a word that you will hear a lot when you talk to Dana Altman and what he wants to instill in this basketball team, and it's one of the things that he emphasizes over and over and over again. And it's going to take some time. It's going to take some players that play to his liking in terms of his system. But if anything, Creighton showed us is that he can get it done.
English at 6'6", elevating for the jumper, left it short. Singler hustles in for the rebound. And here come the Ducks with Jonathan Lloyd, the freshman out of Las Vegas, Nevada.
Played well against Duke, 10 points, did a nice job handling Duke's man-to-man pressure in the half court.
Martine Seifert in as well for Oregon, going up on the offensive glass, but had it stripped away by the stronger Ricardo Ratliff. Here's Denman, jump stops. In he comes and scoops and scores.
Look up, gotta look up, gotta lay up if you look up.
Lloyd ahead to Strowbridge, going lefty all the way up and in.
Nice job, that's one way to beat the pressure, get it out quickly out of the net before the defense can get set.
Pressing to the end line, outside he swings it to Denman. Drew a crowd in deep and a whistle. This will go back to the Ducks. It's final now. Kansas defeating UCLA 77-76. In the Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Classic, brought to you by Toyo Tires. Missouri on top 5 here in Eugene, Oregon, just underway.
I mean, nice effort by UCLA, but knowing Coach Ben Howland of the Bruins, he's not into moral victories at all, especially after what happened in New York. But that's a score you can live with. UCLA going down to Lawrence, losing by 1 overtime.
Lloyd with speed across midcourt, tripped up from behind by Pressey. And the officials will confer. Randy McCall, Chris Rastatter, and Michael Reed are officials tonight here in Eugene.
Jonathan Lloyd out of Bishop Gorman High School in Las Vegas, a terrific punt returner as a high school player, so you know he can weave and wind his way through the bodies with the basketball. And did a nice job against Duke, handling their pressure, getting his team into offense, looking for a shot when it was there.
Second foul on Phil Pressey, and then Missouri comes to double Armstead, who got caught with the basketball tied up. And on the exchange, the Ducks will retain possession.
And Dana Altman worked on that extensively yesterday in practice, trying to prepare his team for that trapping defense. Again, it's unpredictable. You can't really say when and where those traps will take place. Mike Anderson allows his players to make those decisions right there. Nice jump to the basketball.
Lloyd trying to push a pass in the lane to Catron, deflected away by Missouri and out of bounds. 15 to shoot now for the Ducks.
It really speeds you up offensively. You're just so happy to break through that first 2 lines of defenders.
Garrett Sim with an open look, left it short. Rebound volleyed in there by Catron. And last touch by Missouri along the in line.
You still got to play under control. You break the trap out front on the dribble, as the Ducks did. You still got to play under control. You got to have some man movement, ball movement. There's some open shots to be had if you play it smart.
Backdoor lob to Narid, but he was tied up on the backside. Lawrence Bowers had position, and a foul called on Bowers, apparently for leaning back with the arms. 6th foul on Missouri.
Again, something they worked on Oregon in practice yesterday, trying to lob it behind that back line of zone defensive players. The lob was there for Narid. But Bowers just got in his way, got the foul, has to sit on the bench.
Steve Morris, 6'9", 270-pound junior out of Kansas City, Missouri in the lineup. As Armstead winds up with a long jump shot, won't go. Chasing after it is Safford of Missouri in the corner, and was shoved out of bounds, they say, by Garrett Sim. The Ducks now shooting 1 for 11 from the field. They're getting looks.
There's a little bit of a bump on the part of Garrett Sim, but right there, you're saving the ball under the other team's basket. I don't understand why players Don't just throw it down to their end of the floor. I mean, no harm done if you do that. Kim English had that situation against Georgetown and tried to throw it off a Georgetown player. Wound up going to Clark from Georgetown. He kicked it to Chris White for the three-pointer that took the game in overtime. Throw it down to the other end.
Now the Ducks pressuring Missouri. They break it, settle the floor. Pressey gets off the jump shot with Catron running up at him and knocks it down.
Mike Anderson thinks that Philip Pressey is due. He's due to play the kind of basketball that he played, which was the reason why that they recruited him. The quickness, the jump shooting ability, the stop on the dime off of penetration.
Oregon shoots 1-1 now as Mike Anderson's Missouri Tigers have exceeded the limit of 7. 13:42 left here in the first half. Garrett Sim will head to the line. Anderson, a hot prospect as a coach, obviously, led Missouri to the Elite 8 31 victories 2 years ago. They made the tournament last year, despite the departure of some high-scoring forwards.
Over the last 2+ years, the 11th winningest program in college basketball. Names like Duke and Kansas and Syracuse and Butler and Memphis on that list.
Ricky Krecklow in the lineup now for Missouri, going to the deck, keeping it alive at midcourt. Grabbed in backcourt by Catron. Catron turns and spins, tried to step through, but walked with the basketball. And a turnover on Oregon. Missouri leading here 11-6, 13:26 to go in the first half.
And they're giving Jovan Catron absolutely no room to operate. Anytime he catches that ball in the sweet spot, right around the free throw line, there are a bevy of defenders, bigs in particular, there to thwart any kind of driving opportunity.
Matt Pressey, the junior, is in now with his younger brother Phil Pressey. And in the corner here is Safford with it.
And Missouri wants to keep the corners filled with shooters, keep the short corners filled with bigs. Not a good decision by Ricky Krecklow trying to feed the ball inside to Safford.
Safford fronted by a smaller defender, and Krecklow just zips it out of bounds. And Missouri now guilty of their 6th turnover of the first half. Chance for Oregon now, Sim to the end line, but immediately doubled. Good ball movement by Oregon on the right side of the floor. Got to get it out of the corner, and they do. Armstead will reset at the top. Catron will come to screen high.
Yeah, the only problem I have is keeping it on the right side. You got to get that thing swinging from side to side, keep that defense moving. It's a longer area to cover, especially if you're trapping on one side.
Lloyd with the air ball. Missouri on the run. Pressey in tight quarters. Hand off to Moore. Out to Krecklow. Good three-point shooter and drilled it. Mr. Basketball. State of Missouri last year. The freshman knocks down the three-pointer.
His dad Wayne played for the Boston Celtics on their '81 championship team. Is the current volleyball coach at Missouri. So this kid Ricky has some. He never played volleyball in high school, but he's got some terrific athleticism, as you mentioned. Nice stroke from the outside.
Well, Sim trying to drive into front court, immediately trapped. He put on the brakes and skidded right out of bounds. And so Missouri will take it on the Oregon turnover. Missouri up 8 here, Marcus, on the strength of a Krecklow 3. Pressey's at the guards. Krecklow rotates outside, and they have very good size in low, with Moore setting screens at 270 out high. Pressey to the end line. And the pass to Moore, up and in.
Yeah, that's a nice job by Phil Pressey to feed from the short corner, and they will set screens, especially Moore at the high post, to free up the shooters against his own defense.
Lloyd to Catron. He was hurried that time. Pressey slips it free. Grabbed by Mike Pressey.
That's what I mean about this defense speeding you up.
And Missouri comes the other way, and they hurry, and they create their 7th turnover of the game.
Yeah, Pressey to Pressey, but here Marcus Denman going to do a pass fake, which you'll see a lot. Take the strong to the hole. Nice job avoiding the block. Sweet kiss off the glass.
Welcome back to Matt Court. 16-6, Missouri lead. Well, guys, EJ Singler trying to motivate his team right now. He's coming off an emotional game last weekend. The Duke-Oregon matchup in Portland, Oregon featured the Singer brothers facing each other for the very first time in a showdown where both had highly worthy moments in the game. And afterward, I talked to EJ Singler, and he said the best part about the experience was taking the time to meet with family and friends, share some hugs, enjoy the experiences. You hear them putting in a big hug right there. Loved the matchup, loved playing against each other for the first and probably last time, guys.
Well, that was quite an evening there, or an afternoon there in Portland. A very good crowd to turn out at the Rose Garden in Portland, Oregon to see these two. A lot of Duke fans, a lot of Oregon fans there.
A lot of respect for what the Singler family has meant to the state of Oregon. Not just talking about the brothers Cal and EJ, but you know, you got uncles and dads and moms and all of them between Oregon and Oregon State. It's basketball and athletic royalty in the state of Oregon, the Singlers.
And of course, Kyle had to give him 30 points.
Yeah.
Armstead with a recovery, and boy, the Ducks cold here now. They are 1 of 13. Oregon 1 of 13 from the field.
And EJ, 14 points against Duke, all in the second half. Doesn't have a bucket so far in the first half. He's got to look to find that mid-range jump shot against this pressure defense of Missouri. And Missouri, they've got to continue to screen against this zone, keep the shooting areas filled, and then make acrobatic floaters like Pressey just made driving to the hole.
Mike Pressey with a beautiful shot on the run off the window.
And he had Ricky Krecklow wide open in the right corner if he would have elected to make that extra pass, but did a nice job on the finish for himself.
Matt Pressey, first team JUCO last year with Ricardo Ratliff. Two nice additions to this club. Denman picks off a pass along the inline, heads the other way. Krecklow in transition for three. Sailed it over the rim. Singler the rebound. Denman from behind stabs at it. Swung ahead to Strowbridge to the inline. Powers up and is fouled going to the rim. Well, Saturday, get ready for a huge Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series doubleheader. First, Cal takes on Deontay Garrett at explosive Iowa State. And then Texas Tech battles number 23 Washington's potent offense. The action tips off at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific time. Well, the Ducks already short-handed. Jeremy Jacob, 6'8" junior, is out. He has re-aggravated a knee injury. And Teandre Williams, 6'4" junior, is out with a concussion this evening's game.
And that's two guys that you rely on to finish on the inside because of their athleticism. And then also knock down mid-range jump shots, which the Ducks have not been able to do consistently here in this first half.
Strowbridge for three after bearing 2 free throws. He sails this one over the rim. Matt Pressey the rebound into front court to Denman.
So you got 2 of your better mid-range jump shooters, 2 of your better rebounders not on the floor. You've got to make the adjustment and just keep scrapping, playing hard.
Ratliff with a rebound, bounces low to Safford, missed the attempt, turns, had it ripped away, but recovered by Matt Pressey outside the English. High post to Safford, nice. Beautiful pass to Ratliff, and he buries the jam.
Yeah, Ricardo Ratliff, 2-time JUCO All-American. I love his hands, his ability to catch and finish in one smooth motion on the inside. Had a lot of those types of plays against Georgetown on Tuesday night.
And Safford, the senior, with a nice pass. Here's Lloyd. Sim to the inline, double outside. Lloyd elevates, and the freshman nails a three.
They're going to need some infusion of outside shooting offensively. The Ducks to hang around with Missouri in this game, and Jonathan Lloyd is playing with a lot of confidence coming off that Duke game.
8 Tigers have scored. They spread the wealth. They spread the minutes. 8 guys getting 18 minutes or more, and a 3 offered up and in by Matt Pressey.
And normally Matt Pressey, more of a guy you think about with the mid-range type of jump shooting game. That time shows that he has has continued to work on extending his range.
Well, Marcus, we mentioned Missouri, number 9 in the country. Take a look at our AP Top 10 presented by Toyo Tires with Duke. Number 1 after another impressive win last night over Michigan State, Ohio State, Pittsburgh, Kansas, and Kansas State, the top 5. Kansas State in Pullman tomorrow to take on Washington State. Michigan State, Connecticut, Syracuse, Missouri, and Kentucky round out the top 10.
Well, you know, Duke, I said it on Saturday, I think this team will go undefeated this year, at least during the regular season. I got to wait and see what happens by the time the tournament gets here. But Kyrie Irving, 31 points against Michigan State. Jumpers, finishes, everything you could ask for and more from a freshman to go along with the big front line, the other shooters, and the great defense. And Coach K, you see the all-time series history, Mike. Excuse me, the Missouri Tigers have kind of had their way so far in this series. And again, for Oregon to have a chance to win this game, it's going to come down to outside shooting. You're not going to get a whole lot inside. This team is too quick, Missouri, too athletic. So you've got to make them respect your outside shooting first, and then look to try and do what you can on the interior.
Missouri coming off a 56% shooting night against Georgetown in a loss. Here's Sim measuring for three. Won't go. Singler on the other side with a rebound. They'll bring it back outside, and Armstead will reset. Walking with a basketball. It is the 8th turnover of the game on Oregon. Matt Losley, the sophomore, walked with a basketball.
And Matt Losley was selected to play on this team after a 40-man tryout situation. So that gives you an idea of the dire straits that Oregon is facing.
Well, Pressey just threw that right into the hands of Armstead. Up the floor he comes. He'll attack the rim. Bowers is there to get into the air, but Armstead got under him quickly. English leaks out the other way. Long lead pass, and English got an easy one.
I mean, Malcolm Armstead, your point guard, does a nice job. Aggressive move to the basket. Good finish. Nobody covers for him. You allow the leak out to Kim English for the easy layup.
12-point lead for the Missouri Tigers. Catron attacks the double post and walked with the basketball. Bowers down there along with Ratliff again. Two tough defenders in the interior. And they force Catron to walk with the basketball. Missouri out on top of Oregon, 25-13. Missouri out on top, 25-13. Let's head down to the floor. Rebecca Harlow.
Well, Kevin, tonight's brain whiz is Oregon's Garrett Sim. The junior guard has really been a workhorse in the classroom and on the basketball floor, earning a 3.08 GPA in sociology and not missing a game since his arrival back in 2008. I caught up with him, and he tells me his grandfather was a school principal, so he's always valued education. He says time management has been key here to his success as a student and an athlete at Oregon.
As a junior now, he came in here and started 26 games his freshman year. Oregon State Player of the Year, Class 6A.
Sunset High School. He can shoot the basketball. It hasn't shown it with the kind of consistency that he would like this season so far. I think a lot of that has to do with just kind of adjusting to a new system, trying to find out where the shots are for you within that system.
Sim reaches in for the foul. That's his second. He'll come over to the bench, and J.R. Strowbridge will check in for Dana Altman's Oregon Ducks.
These Ducks get really small with Strowbridge and Lloyd and Armstead on the floor at the same time. I don't think any one of them has ever seen 6 feet.
Catron anchors the middle at 6'6".
Yeah, they got to block out, rebound with the basketball. They got to pursue long rebounds in particular.
Deep pass out of the corner from Matt Pressey. That deep diagonal pass to the opposite side of the floor, and English buries the deep jump shot.
Yeah,
That's a good pass.
Get those shooting spots filled, and you know the pass gets there a lot quicker than the body does. So nice job of ball movement on the part of the Missouri Tigers. They do a great job of filling the shooting spots, wings, corners, short corners for the big guys, high post.
Lloyd tried to force it into the post. 10th turnover.
Nice.
Denman the other way to lay it up and in. Count the basket and a foul.
Nice job, Marcus Denman. Again, we talked about it in the open. He is so tough in transition. He just comes at you and keeps coming. Like Jonathan Lloyd. Didn't get set in time. A close call for the official. But Denman takes it strong into the throat area of Jonathan Lloyd for the finish.
Denman, one of 4 basketball players on this team from Kansas City, Missouri. A hotbed of basketball. Denman with a 3-point play, and Mike Anderson has obviously done a nice job there now in his 5th year of recruiting out of Kansas City, Missouri. Denman, one of the top reserves in the Big 12 last year. Started this evening for the Missouri Tigers, who are out on top of the Ducks now, 30-13.
And Denman was the MVP of the tournament down in Cancun, coming off the bench. Mike Anderson trying to send a message: you got to be blue collar. We don't want, I don't want a bunch of white collar attitudes out here. You got to have blue collar work ethic to play for me.
The ball was punched ahead. Officials did not see that. Denman with it now. Swings across court to Dixon. Inside a Ratliff. Man, he just buried Singler on the post and spun it, hooked it in off the window. Power on power that time.
And Singler, I think, trying to convince the officials that there was enough contact for an offensive foul. Didn't get that job done, but nice job, nice footwork on the part of the big guy, Ricardo Ratliff.
9-0 run. Catron's got to be quick, then drives in, and those long arms meet him. The inside was Lawrence Bowers and Ricardo Ratliff. 5 block shots for Missouri.
And Jovan Catron is like, I thought Duke was tough to score against on the inside with the Plumlee brothers and Cal Singler. Ryan Kelly. This Missouri team, their interior defense has been off the hook.
Strowbridge knocks down a 3-point shot. JR with 6 points, and the Ducks shooting 4 of 20 from the field. Trailing here by 16. English slants in diagonally. This pass a tough one for Bowers. English trying to save it in the corner, couldn't. And the Ducks will take it on another Missouri turnover. That is their 9th. And Missouri playing, Marcus, their 7th game in 14 days. Maybe that fatigue taking hold a little bit.
They've logged over 7,000 miles in the process from Cancun to Dallas through Kansas City up here to Eugene, Oregon. And you're right. I mean, for college kids, that's a lot of basketball, a lot of miles to log. But the one thing in Missouri's favor is that they go about 10 deep. So nobody's going to really play 30, 35, 38 minutes. And then you factor in the style of play. I mean, they're out here trapping and pressing the whole time. So you got to rely on fresh reinforcements to give you a spell.
Singler comes to an open space in the zone, but missed the jump shot. He hurried it. Denman the other way. Dixon, the bounce pass beneath the rim. Catron on a hustle play gets into the passing lane. Here come the Ducks on the 11th turnover to Missouri. Outside in transition, Lloyd with a 3. Missouri breaks the other way. Dixon ahead to Denman, but a foul in backcourt or a timeout call. Timeout call by the Missouri Tigers and Mike Anderson. 32-16 Missouri, number 9 in the country, leading Oregon. 5 minutes to go here in the first. With Rebecca Harlow, Marcus Johnson, Kevin Calabro on hand at MacArthur Court here in Eugene. The Ducks, of course, last played Saturday afternoon against Duke, and now here against Missouri, their hands are full once again. Take a look at our Toyo Tires game summary. Field goal shooting, Missouri 14 of 22, Oregon 4 of 22. Points in the paint, Missouri 18 and Oregon just 4. 3-point shooting, Missouri 3 of 7 and Oregon 2 for 7. Missouri, an outstanding transition basketball team because they create so much havoc on the floor. They force the turnovers. They run off turnovers, Marcus, and they're a pretty good three-point shooting team as well when they get into that set offense.
The fastest 40 minutes of basketball that you will see played in the country. And I don't even think Mike Anderson minds some of the turnovers committed as long as his team keeps playing within the system that he has set forth, and they're doing that.
Marcus Denman with a three. Coming in, he's shooting 54% from three-point range, 19 to 35, and he buries that one. He has 8 points this evening, 35-16, 4:32 to go in the first half.
Yeah, and once Kim English, that thumb injury heals up a little bit more. He's got some ligament issues with his right thumb on his shooting hand. So that's really affected his shooting. But you can imagine the way these two guys between Denman and English can stretch a defense out with their shooting ability.
Armstead finds an opening. Nice rebound by Catron, maneuvers by Denman, but had it tapped away by Ratliff. Catron grabbed it, reloads, and laid it in. Barking at his teammates to get going. He wants to put a charge into him, Marcus.
Jovan Catron, you have to love his work ethic right here. Going to create some space on the inside. Nice 2-foot jump stop. First shot gets blocked. He stays with it, uses that 245-pound frame to create some space and the finish.
Well, he filled it up against Duke. 18 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 steals against the Duke Blue Devils.
And his nickname is actually Duke. It's from the old TV show, The Dukes of Hazzard, because he would always like bump into things when he was a little baby boy, and his mom and daddy started calling him Duke. But he was the one bright spot for Oregon in that game. Nice penetration move. Again, Kim English didn't have a lot of confidence in his jump shot because of that sore thumb. He's done a pretty good job since that injury of taking the basketball to the hole strong.
Tyrone Narrett across the middle. Avoids Ratliff and lays it in.
We got on Tyrone on Saturday against Duke. He made some good moves, about 4 or 5 nice moves on the inside, but just couldn't finish the play off. Good job that time by the man from Woonsocket, Rhode Island, of finishing the play off in the paint.
Where is Woonsocket?
Woonsocket is about 20 miles away from Providence, Rhode Island.
You never would have known that had you dialed into this broadcast tonight. 37-20 the score. Missouri on top. 3:21 left here in the first half. There's that move by Kim English.
We're here to inform, and a nice job informing Oregon that he is about to own the baseline by Kim English. A good job at the other end.
Number 9 Missouri leading Oregon 37-20, 3:21 left in the first half. Let's take a look now at our Toyo Tires driven to perform.
And Marcus Denman doing a nice job driving the basketball hard, neck into the throat of Jonathan Lloyd, who tries to take the offensive foul. We talked about him in the open, Kevin, not just some one-trick pony. Penetration moves, outside shooting. I love his approach offensively. He goes hard all the time at the offensive end. Plays with a lot of energy, a lot of juice on the offensive end, Marcus Denman.
He is seeing 30 minutes a night thus far. in a 6-game stretch. They are 5-1, are the Missouri Tigers. Their only loss to Georgetown. Georgetown buried 10 of the first 13 shots in that ball game and took an 18-point lead with 9 minutes left in the first half. Missouri came all the way back, though, to take a lead late in the ball game. Quickly, Missouri, after the timeout, gets an easy bucket at the rim on the inbound.
And it's Kim English. Kim English is rejecting the outside shot. Does a nice job, put his head down, but didn't look to just finish for himself. Found a wide open Matt Pressey on the opposite side of the glass. So that's what you want to see from Kim English. You know, if you're not shooting the ball consistently from the outside, do other things to help your team win the basketball game.
They're in the 1-3-1 zone. Sim from the corner. And once again, it was Lawrence Bowers closing out, made that shot a tough one for Sim, leading to a Missouri defensive rebound. And quickly they maneuver up the field. Skip pass, grabbed by Denman for 3. He buried another.
He's on it now.
Oh, he buried another one. What a beauty.
He's on it now, knocking down threes from each wing. Doing a great job attacking the basket.
And then he reaches way up into the air at midcourt to knock that pass down on the advance attempted by Lloyd. Hustle play by Denman.
And Mike Anderson probably likes that play, the deflection, as much as the jumpers and the takes to the hole.
Missouri up 22. Coming up on the College Hoops halftime show, the final score hosted by Greg Wolf with highlights from Hoops action tonight. And then Marcus Johnson with a piece we shot yesterday with the Pressey kids about what they've learned from their father, former NBA player Paul Pressey. That's in a few minutes on the College Hoops halftime show.
Paul, a former teammate of mine with the Milwaukee Bucks. I like to call him the original point forward junior.
Singler into the lane, being trapped by Moore, missed it. Rebound by Armstead in traffic. He laid it back up and in.
And Malcolm Armstead has got to get his head into what Dana Altman is trying to accomplish here at Oregon. Armstead could have transferred once the coaching change happened. And Ernie Kent let go. Dana Altman brought in, decided to come back. He's back. He's got to make the best of it and really try and find out where his place is within the framework of this basketball team. He's having some struggles with that.
Missouri with the fastest 40 minutes in basketball. Safford with it. Trying to locate Pressey in the corner. Intercepted by Lloyd on the run. Challenges Denman and 3 other defenders. Looped it in the corner, attempting to get it to Strowbridge, but threw it out of bounds.
So this is what this tempo will do to you. It will have you making decisions, poor decisions like that. I mean, they play so fast, Missouri, each and every moment on the floor. You get it back at the other end, you want to play fast too. I can out-fast your fast, but you're not used to that. Your teammates aren't used to that, so they're not in the proper position, and just a terrible decision by Jonathan Lloyd on the pass.
Nolan Richardson used to have that 40 minutes of hell there in Arkansas. Mike Anderson, longtime assistant, 17 years in Arkansas with Nolan Richardson. Adapted a lot of his principles from his time at Arkansas. Here's the 3 off the mark by the Ducks. It's one and done, and Safford with a rebound with a minute left in the first half.
It stamps your program with a personality. And so you know as a player coming in what's expected. You know as a coaching staff, assistant coaches in particular, what kind of guys you're looking to recruit.
Slanting in his Armstead, kick out. Catron, under a minute to play. Singler again forced into a tough shot. Kim English got him on the wrist, and Singler will shoot 2.
E.J. Singler, as we've talked about, he's a guy that was a terrific football player in high school, and he kind of plays with that kind of football body language, football approach, very physical basketball player at 6'6", 210 pounds, first team All-State tight end, first team All-State linebacker. So not the most fluid of basketball players, but as we talked about, 14 points in the second half against Duke. It took him a while to figure out where the shots were for him. And this kind of a game against Missouri, those shots will be mid-range jump shots.
E.J. teamed with Kyle to win 2 state championships at South Medford High School in some outstanding competition against Lake Oswego's Kevin Love.
On this very floor, but now Oregon going into some trapping, some backcourt aggressive trapping of the basketball below the free throw line on their own. Turnabout's fair play. Take that.
Mike Anderson will call a timeout. 42-24, Missouri on top. 34 seconds left in the first half. Of course, they are moving out, the Ducks are, from the pit, MacArthur Court. January 13th will be the opening of the new Matthew Knight Arena. They'll open it against USC. We had a tour of it just yesterday. It is a magnificent place to play basketball, volleyball, to train for any sport. that can be played indoors. You can do it all in that brand new facility.
An immaculate entertainment venue. The high-end chill-out sections were my favorite. Gourmet food services and plush sofas and couches to chill out and kick it. And
high-end chill-out section.
High-end chill-out sections.
We'll have that first game against USC. And of course, they're going to host a concert shortly as well. Elton John. On the inbounds, Missouri loses the handle. Matt Pressey finds it in front of his own bench, maintains the dribble, but has to pick it up, trap, throws to Denman at midcourt. Missouri trying to score here with 24 seconds left in the half.
Once again, Oregon stays in that full-court, aggressive, trapping zone pressure. In the backcourt, may see a lot more of that in the second half. Missouri's had some issues with it.
Matt Pressey trying to read it. Into the lane whirling, jabbed away by Narrett. Good defensive play. Out of bounds, last touch by Oregon. 3 to shoot for Missouri. 8 9/10 to play in the half.
You know who Matt Pressey reminded me of on that move? Paul Pressey.
Here's the lob on the inbounds to Denman, and he is fouled in the act of trying to just volley it back to the rim. He'll shoot 2. Denman with 11 points, leading the Tigers here in the first half.
Nice job on the inbounds play, and Denman showed some of his athleticism. And it's just, I got a little on me. J.R. Strowbridge, about 5'10", with his vision obscured because of that face mask, because of his broken nose. So that's even tougher on the defender. And you got an athlete like Marcus Denman going up and over you.
Well, he's having just an explosive start to his season. 27 against Georgetown. He was 10 of 12 from the field and 5 of 7 from 3. Here this evening, he's got a dozen, and he has buried 2 of 3 from beyond the arc.
And has put forth a tremendous effort on the defensive end of the floor.
Oregon to bring it in bounds with 8 seconds. Armstead across midcourt, gets rid of it. Sim takes a look, gives to Singler to the glass, rejected by Moore, and that will end the first half of play. Now the Missouri Tigers in very impressive fashion hold the Ducks to 7 of 30 shooting in the first half, while shooting 64% themselves. They are led by Marcus Denman with 13 points, Kim English with 11. We'll send it to Rebecca Harlow standing by with the coach, Mike Anderson.
Coach, the Ducks shooting less than 25% right now. What do you like about your defense?
Well, our defense is not predictable. We're mixing it up. We're playing man, we're playing matchup zone. Our guys are playing with a lot of energy.
You've got an assist for more than half your makes so far. What do you like about the movement you've got going on offense?
We're trusting one another. I think that's the beauty of it all. We're trusting one another. Our benches came in and played really, really well.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you.
Kevin.
Thank you, Rebecca. When we return, we'll join Greg Wolf for the College Hoops halftime show. It's all Missouri halfway through here in Eugene, Oregon, 44-24 in our Big 12 Pac-10 Hoops Hardwood Series presented by Toyo Tires.
Here we go.
Out here with Matt Pressey. Now, your dad talked about dribbling drills. He showed you, Paul Pressey showed you all kinds of dribbling drills. Any dribbling drill you do, he said he showed it to you. Give me something with 2 ball. All right, 2 ball. All right, and then kind of piston that thing for me. Okay. How much do you want me to say about it? What's... All right. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah, let me see it. Okay. The Golden Hurricanes of Tulsa. There's my former teammate, Paul Pressey. Mike Anderson. Out here with Matt Pressey, Phil Pressey, or Philip as the team likes to call you. Now, your dad talked about dribbling drills. He showed you, Paul Pressey showed you all kinds of dribbling drills. Any dribbling drill you do, he said,
Tulsa Hurricanes. Mike Anderson, Paul Pressey playing for Nolan Richardson at Tulsa. Or you can throw that. I'm just trying to figure out.
You can just kind of that would be like the last thing to say. Into it, okay. You can imagine just having a, whatever. However, I'll figure it out.
Hey, Harry.
The opening food sponsored by?
Yeah, it's easier for me to read that. You might want to call it the Toyo series. Welcome back to Eugene, Oregon. It's the Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series presented by Toyo Tires. Tonight, number 9 Missouri visits historic MacArthur Court to take on the Oregon Ducks, and halfway through Missouri with a 20-point lead. Welcome back, everybody. Along with Marcus Johnson, Kevin Calabro on hand. This Missouri story is an interesting one. Mike Anderson and his roots, his coaching roots going back all the way to Tulsa, where he was collegiately a teammate with Paul Pressey, the father, of course, of the two outstanding young men we've been watching here this evening.
Yeah, and Paul Pressey, a teammate of mine with the Milwaukee Bucks. And Paul Pressey, not only an outstanding NBA player, as we take a look at Paul Pressey with the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes, along with Nolan Richardson, his coach, and Mike Anderson, the current coach of Missouri. But Paul Pressey has been a long-time NBA assistant coach, 4 or 5 different teams. It's one thing to have a dad who was a player in the NBA. These two Pressey boys has a dad who was a coach. You can imagine the things that he has passed down to him. We got a chance to take a look at some of those things yesterday. Out here with Matt Pressey, Phil Pressey, or Philip as the team likes to call you. Now your dad talked about dribbling drills. He showed you, Paul Pressey showed you all kinds of dribbling drills. Any dribbling drill you do, he said he showed it to you. Give me something with 2 ball. All right, 2 ball. And then kind of pissing that thing for me. Okay, a little walk and do something behind the back or something like that. There you go, behind the back. A little through the legs, Figure eight on the last one. Okay, all right. You made a believe out of me. Let me get one of the balls. Now, your dad talks about defense with you a lot. Yep, so I'm trying to back you down, Matthew. What kind of things did your dad? But Paul Pressey was like defensive player of the year, so I know he told you some good stuff.
Yeah, he just told me, be aggressive, be strong, be smart, but use your hands as much as possible. Don't let them back you down.
Now, if I face you up, what's happening?
Just use your hands a lot. Crossover. Try to guard the crossover as much as possible.
Okay. Be smart, be strong. Now, also offensively, this is the '80s. Yep. What did your dad teach you about offense?
He told me a lot of guys shoot threes and layups these days. But, you know, if you say you really want to excel and do something different, you know, use the mid-range game. It's a very, you know, good technique.
You hear that mid-range game. It's a lost art in basketball. You know Paul Pressey's from the 80s. He passed on that knowledge down to his son, Matthew and Phil.
And Matthew Pressey helping the Missouri Tigers, ranked number 9 in the country, to a 20-point halftime lead. We'll come back, get play underway in a moment as this series continues. Brought to you by Toyo Tires. The Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series is presented by Toyo Tires. Toyo Tires, driven to perform. Well, it's a beautiful evening here in the Great Northwest in Eugene, Oregon. Inside here at MacArthur Court, the Missouri Tigers lead Oregon by 20. Take a look at our statistics, brought to you by Toyo Tires. Missouri shooting a sizzling 64%, Oregon 23%. 5 of 10 for the Tigers on the road from 3. Oregon 2 for 9. Oregon 8 of 9. Turnovers 11 and 12. And the leading scorers, J.R. Strowbridge for Oregon with 9. Marcus Denman 13. Kim English 11. Matt Pressey with 7. Marcus Denman hit 4 of 5 from the field and buried 2 of 3 from 3. That after he scored 27 in the loss to Georgetown and hit 10 of 12 from the field and 5 of 7 from three-point range.
Conversely, for the Ducks, you got Catron and Singler, who come in averaging 31 points a game between them, have 4 points, just 1 of 8 from the field between these two players, Jovan Catron and E.J. Singler.
And you hit on it earlier, 18 points, 8 rebounds for Catron against Duke. He did not have this much trouble getting shots off against the Plumlee brothers and Ryan Kelly. They average out at 6'10".
Yeah, and trust me, you know, Mike Anderson, his staff, they understand how important Jovan Catron is to this offense, and he's going to see a crowd every time he touches the basketball as that high post press releaser guy at the free throw line, press release player at the free throw line. Low post right there. You see two doubles, two guys double, two bigs right there.
Singler buries a 3. Took his time there, got his shoulders square, good elevation.
And a good read by Jovan Catron. He got it in the post, double by Radcliffe, double by Bowers. Nice job of finding E.J. Singler wide open on the perimeter. And
Bowers getting out of control on that one.
And as you mentioned, Singler not rushing to get that shot off. Here's the pass. Here's going to be a double right here. Going to get it. Going to kick it right back out to Singler. Singler does a nice job making himself available. Hands ready. Feet set. Square that baby up. And yes. Wet ball.
Let's go to Rebecca Harlow standing by. She had an opportunity to talk to the coach of the Oregon Ducks.
Guys, with Oregon starters shooting just 5 for 26, I asked Dana Altman how he gets his team going here in the second half offensively, and he said, first of all, we've got to slow the game down by playing defense. And then he said, on offense, we need better ball movement. We can't allow Missouri's pressure to force us into poor decisions.
Thanks, Rebecca.
And a lot of those poor decisions Rebecca talks about are rush decisions.
Strowbridge drives and kicks. Singler another 3 off the heel of the iron, and the long rebound grabbed by Marcus Denman. Head up and scanning. Pass into front court to the 6'6" English. Drops it in low to Ratliff. Nice pass inside to Sowers. Ripped on the weak side, though, by an alert Sim. It goes out of bounds. Last touched by the Ducks.
I mean, if you're Oregon, offensively, you still want to take advantage of the open opportunities that you get, but you can't get suckered into playing at this fastest 40 minutes of basketball pace. That's exactly what Missouri wants you to do. They know you don't have the talent, athleticism.
English drives in. Singler sets his feet, Marcus, to draw the charge. Second foul on Kim English.
And there's a Kim English that is not comfortable shooting the basketball from the outside because of the ligament damage to his thumb. A little bit out of control. Singler, nice job getting set, taking the hit. Now, he probably likes that hit. He's a tight end linebacker.
Armstead has to hurry the inbounds to Sim. Now Armstead will get it back, and the 6'6" English will track him to midcourt. Catron comes to the top to set the high screen.
Mike Anderson talked about mixing it up. Now Missouri in an aggressive man-to-man defense had played a lot of 2-3 matchup zone in that first half. They're giving Oregon just a little bit of a different look to try and negotiate through offensively.
Catron double clutches, and he drew the body of Ratliff to him. Catron to the line.
Javon played, 4 games last year, sent out the rest of the season because of a back injury, got the medical red shirt. So he was chomping at the bit to get back on the basketball floor and has played with an exuberance and enthusiasm that Coach Dana Altman really likes.
Last foul on Denman on the help defense. His second foul. Catron's free throw rolls in, and it's 45-29 Missouri. They quickly break pressure with a long pass up court. Denman, beautiful pass to Ratliff right at the rim for the lay-in.
There's that pressure in the backcourt. It's kind of more of a bother press. They're not trying to aggressively trap. It's a little bit of a bother press, and they back off into their man-to-man defense.
Trying to move with the man with the ball was Lawrence Bowers. Drew the bump, and a foul on Bowers.
And with this team, Oregon sets a high ball screen. That time Bowers with an aggressive hedge, but you're so used to being trapped, it really makes you hesitant to try and come off that high ball screen to do some damage. There's a high ball screen, there's a hedge right there, there's a turnover. You're really reluctant to turn that corner and probe and kind of see what you got because you're so accustomed now to seeing 2 dark black-shirted defenders in your face at all times, or that dark brown. I'm getting old, Kevin. What does that help me? Help me, brother.
Black and gold.
Black and gold.
Gold, black and gold. Missouri Tigers renovating, bringing back that basketball program. Norm Stewart, of course, there for many, many years at Missouri. Quinn Snyder took over, and in '06, the program was in disarray. Mike Anderson took over and has done an outstanding job now in his 5th year. Got him to the Elite 8 2 years ago, and they won 31 games. They were in the tournament last year. They're going to be tough this year.
They're really going to be tough this year. That was after being picked to finish 7th in their conference by the Big 12 basketball writers. They surpassed those expectations. He won a school record 31 games. Mike Anderson did a great job at UAB, got that program into the Sweet 16. It's Michael Dixon Jr., hard penetration to the basket. There's some contact on the inside between Singler and Bowers on the offensive rebound try.
And on the inbounds, Bowers flattens Singler, and a foul's going to be called on Singler.
And then I wonder how much of that is frustration on the part of E.J. Singler, really being a little overly aggressive the last couple of possessions.
Singler having difficulty in the offensive end, 1 for 6. Here's Denman, turnaround jump shot. Short-armed it, and the rebound grabbed by Singler. Up come the Ducks. see Missouri in different sets defensively, just about every trip down the floor, it seems like. Strowbridge inside to Catron, elevating, and a foul. Catron seems to be slowing his game down now, Marcus. Once he gets to the rim, he's able to put a pump fake on that Missouri defense, and they're going for the pump fake. As a consequence, he's gone to the line twice now here in the second half.
Yeah, and again, you don't want to allow Missouri to get you into this speeded up mindset of playing basketball. You start rushing shots, you get offensive fouls because you're out of control. You make poor passing decisions. I mean, shots are there. Shots are there for you. You've just got to be patient enough to try and execute your offense to find those open areas.
Catron buries 2 free throws. And so Catron 4 for 4 from the line here in the second half. 16-point lead. Long lead pass. Dixon intended to English at the side of the glass. Karams right to Denman.
That's Oregon trapping aggressively in the backcourt as they did to end the first half. That was successful for them, and they get a turnover out of the offensive possession by Missouri.
And the third foul on Ratliff. Catron draws the charge.
Ricardo Ratliff, 2-time junior college first-team All-American. There's only 13 players in junior college history, Kevin, that have achieved that goal. Larry Johnson was one of those. Vinny Del Negro was the other, but not Vinny Del Negro Jr. It was Vinny Del Negro Sr. back in 1959, 1960 for junior college down in Mississippi.
Oh, you are climbing into the Wayback Machine.
Accidentally. An accidental climb. I'm thinking it's Vinny Del Negro Jr. Then I look at the year, I see it's 1959. It's like, wow.
And then his jersey retired, number 20. Where's number 10 here with Missouri? Doing a terrific job now. He comes out of the game, and in will come Justin Safford. Outside is Garrett Sim triggering. Mid-range jumper won't go. Bowers with a rebound. I like this. Bowers, Lawrence Bowers, active kid, 11.6 rebounds a game. Very tough. In deep is Safford, the senior, coming off an ACL tear in the knee.
And Safford had to go against Damari Carroll, Leo Lyons, 2 Big 12, all Big 12 big guys his first couple of years. So it's made him tough, and it made him a lot better basketball player. You see that nice seal.
How about that? How about that pass from Bowers?
Great pass. I mean, they did a great job in their high-low. These bigs, Missouri, well schooled in the high-low offense.
And Oregon comes right back with a couple of fine passes. 49-33 count. Catron hustles back into the passing lane. He deflects it out of bounds. That's the kind of hustle play that Dana Altman is looking for from his Oregon Ducks. He comes out to midcourt to shake Catron's hand. Well, How about that for coaching him up?
Catron finishes at one end, sprints back, understands that this Missouri team has exposed their defense after missed layups. You see the nice speed inside you talked about. Nice job sealing. Good job on the big guys playing and working together.
Welcome back, Eugene, Oregon. Pac-10, Big 12, Hardwood Series, brought to you by Toyo Tires. And our Toyo Tires game summary, field goal shooting. Missouri 20 of 33, Oregon 9 of 34. Points in the paint, 26-12 advantage for Missouri. All 12 players or should say 10 players have scored for Missouri, with Marcus Denman leading the way with 13 points. Our game summary brought to you by Toyo Tires.
And that's been the case. Missouri has outstanding balance. That's one of the things, one of the trademarks of Mike Anderson, playing a lot of guys a lot of minutes. You got to do that when you're playing aggressive trapping defense. They play for a full 40 minutes.
Oregon attempting to trap. Catron in the middle of the zone was trying to rotate back and find a space, flattened Safford inadvertently, and a foul called on Catron. Second foul on Catron. And the 5th team foul on the Oregon Ducks. Catron has been energized, 4-4 from the free throw line and a bucket, leading the Oregon Ducks here. They are short-handed. Teandre Williams, 6'4" junior, and Jeremy Jacobs, 6'8" junior, both figure to be in the rotation for Dana Altman's club, out, one with a concussion and the other with an aggravated knee injury in the case of Jeremy Jacobs. Here's Bowers spinning into the lane. Won't go. Ball volleyed and controlled by the Ducks for a moment. Armstead regains control. Catron, nice lead pass, but he spun right to the defense, and Bowers with the block from behind. Here's Denman the other way. Dixon for 3. Singler with a rebound. 16-point Missouri lead.
Because Missouri bigs, active job of covering the cup. I thought Catron had a pretty good shot at an uncontested layup, but the bigs were so quick in recovering. They just covered the cup, blocked the shot on the inside. Nothing easy for Javon Catron this entire game. He wants the ball. He's matched up against Kim English on the inside. He's got a size advantage. He can create some space for himself, but he's got to get it off the offensive glass if he wants it.
Oregon swings the ball. Strowbridge knocks down a 3-pointer. 12 points for Strowbridge. That's his second 3 here of the evening. 13-point lead for Missouri. 14 minutes left here in this game. English for 3. Rebound slapped away by Safford, out of bounds. This is Oregon basketball.
This is a great time for Oregon to build upon the momentum that they have developed. Again, and they've done it with some aggressive defense, and that's going to be Dana Altman's signature here at Oregon. He's recruiting players to play this style of play. They want to play fast also. They want to get out and pressure you, give you different looks, spread the floor offensively, shoot the 3-pointer when it's there.
Pressies are in, Phil and Matt at guards. Oregon with Jonathan Lloyd, the freshman from Nevada, in the lineup, to Armstead. This is Catron along the inline. Nice flash by Singler for the bucket.
Once Bowers loses contact here, Oregon again did a nice job pressuring in the backcourt. They've got to sprint back, cover the cup, make sure they don't give up an easy basket at the other end, and they do so.
Closest the Ducks have been since the 10-minute mark of the first half. They force another turnover. Armstead lead pass to Singler. In transition, off balance. EJ! He got it! Singler adjusts in midair and nails the 3. A 10-0 run by the Oregon Ducks to pull with an 8 at 49-41. 13:23 left in the half. And a timeout.
Dana Altman jumps up off the bench, exhorts his troops, but Oregon, nice little run, nice momentum, nice confidence builder off the turnover. They push it up the floor. Singler barely gets his feet set. He knocks it down, pulls his team within 8, making a game of it.
for the Oregon Ducks. They were down by as many as 22 in the first half, and E.J. Singler has gotten involved offensively in the second half.
Well, he's a high post guy. This 2-1-2 offensive set, and for Lawrence Bowers, you've got to have man-u ball principles. He's caught watching the basketball, loses contact of his man. Good job by E.J. cutting back door hard, which is one of the must in this offensive system. But then Albans gets the pass, gets the easy layup.
And then that three in transition, he made a terrific adjustment in midair to just give it a little more muscle. Denman double teamed in backcourt, gets rid of it, and here come the Tigers. Along with Marcus Johnson, Rebecca Harlow, Kevin Calabro on hand here in Eugene, number 9 Missouri. 7th game in 14 days, coming off a loss in overtime to Georgetown in Kansas City on Tuesday, beating the determined Oregon Ducks, who have pulled now to within 8 on a 10-0 run in 2 minutes and 19 seconds. Matt Pressey into the lane, the basket, and the foul.
Once again, E.J. Singler trying to draw the offensive foul. We got some confusion here. One official calls it a charge. Chris Ratzedler on the outside. As E.J. Singler kind of slides to his left after Pressey elevates. Which is why the other official called it a block, but it's going to be a charging foul on Matt Pressey.
And no bucket. So the Ducks have possession of the ball, down 8. 12:55 to go in the ball game.
Mike Anderson coming out in a 2-2-1 zone press. Again, more of a bother press, kind of backs it off after the ball is advanced past midcourt. Just trying to give these Ducks a little something different to look at.
Ballman's got 3 guards. Singler's actually playing the 4 spot. Sim is out there, a good 3-point shooter. Armstead and Lloyd, the ball handlers. Armstead balances the floor with 9 to shoot. Sim fakes.
There's a shot you want right there.
Lloyd for 3. Safford running out. Rebound tapped by Singler. Keeps it alive to the inline, but Marcus Denman digs it out, and here comes Matt Pressey up the floor.
Malcolm Armstead's got to keep the ball moving. That's what this offense is all about. That's got to be a block.
Denman with a hard fall to the floor. Singler in there clipped him.
Denman showed his ability to drive hard with that offhand left hand, and once again, just a little bit of a hip check on the part of E.J. Singler, but you know, you can't fault the fact that he has given up his body trying to help his team win this basketball game. That's about the 4th or 5th time he's been involved in some hard contact in the paint.
3rd foul on Singler. Denman, 6'3", junior from Hogan Preparatory in Kansas City, Missouri, and he missed the free throw. An excellent shooter. Came into this game 54% from the field, 80% from the line. Jovan Catron steps back in for E.J. Singler. These two have combined for 14 of Oregon's 17 points in the second half.
I think as opposed to backing off into a zone, I think Mike Anderson needs to continue to try and keep the pressure on, even ratchet it up right here at this particular point in the game to try and get Oregon back into rushing things a bit. Oregon just a little too comfortable offensively executing their offense.
Denman 13 in the first half. That free throw, his first point here in the second half. He goes to the bench. The 6'6" Kim English steps in. Lloyd has some difficulty, gets away from the double team. Armstead, the bounce pass inside. Nairn took it up top and was going to throw it down. But Steve Moore met him at the rim, and a foul called on Moore. So Tyrone Nairn taking it right to the rim will go to the line for a deuce in a close contest. Missouri by 9 and a timeout. Oregon putting a scare into number 9 Missouri tonight. Coming back to pull with a 9. Take a look now at our Toyo Tires Driven to Perform presentation.
It's E.J. Singler, shut out in the first half against Duke, 14 second half points. Didn't score a field goal in this game in the first half, but has come out to find where the open areas are for him shooting the basketball. Does a nice job knocking down that shot. And it's particularly tough for a guy like that, especially after he struggled in that first half. But give E.J. a lot of credit, didn't lose his confidence.
Singler, 2 points in the first half, has 10 here in the second on a couple of three-point shots. I thought that exchange that he and Lawrence Bowers had down on the opposite end of the floor, on the defensive end of the floor, it really ignited E.J.
That's one thing that he will do, give up the body. He is not shying away from the contact.
Let's send it down to Rebecca Harlow.
Well, guys, E.J. Singler, a lot of passion, but Dana Altman, a lot of passion, too. In fact, I've never seen a more passionate shoot-around as Oregon's this afternoon. Dana Altman was in his gym shorts and shoes. He was running around with the guys who were going through sets at full speed, which is very rare for a shoot-around. Talking to E.J., he says his passion and love for the game has really been contagious. He's making us want to play really hard for him this year so far.
Thank you, Rebecca. Yesterday brought DeAndre Williams aside and asked him how much he weighed. DeAndre said 220 pounds, and Altman said 220 pounds, and you're 6'4"? Man, I'd love to be 19 years old again.
What I'd give to be 6'4", 220 pounds. Use that body, boy. Oh, young man.
He really put a charge into him yesterday.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Here they come. Narron at the free throw line has pulled him within 8. Back come the Missouri Tigers, taking it right to the rim is Kim English, and he's fouled. He'll head to the line.
Too easy. Too easy. In terms of defensively from Oregon, you've got to do a better job sprinting back in transition defense. There's Kim English just working the left side of the floor, and tough to see the feet of Jovan Catron from that angle, but looked like a block foul, 3 personal fouls again for Oregon to do what they want to do. They've got to have Singler on the floor. He's on the bench with foul trouble, and Catron has got to be out there to provide some scoring punch.
This Missouri team just attacks that rim, don't they?
Yeah, relentless. The fastest 40 minutes in basketball, and you need a special type of mentality, mindset to play this style for Mike Anderson, because it is all predicated on tough, hard-nosed defense.
Missouri just 5 of 8 from the line. They've been outscored 13-5 at the line by the Ducks, who are 13 of 15. English missed the first. Here's the second up, and it rolls around and in. Missouri just 2 for 9 shooting from the field here in the half. And they've got just a couple of points here in the last 4 minutes and change. 51-42 to score.
Well, I think you credit the pressure that Dana Altman has put on this Missouri basketball team.
Look at Narron sweep through the double team, penetrate and lay in a beauty.
A little Dr. J finger roll finish, but this pressure has really bothered. There's another steal that's really bothered the Missouri Tigers in the backcourt.
And they say that Narron, once he did grab the ball, pivoted to the end line, and so Missouri will take it out of bounds. But a terrific trap applied by the Ducks.
But it's basketball psychology. If you're Dana Altman, the coach of Oregon, you know this team has played 7 games in 14 days. You know they've traveled some 7,000 plus miles over the last couple of weeks, that this is a road-weary basketball team. Tough, emotionally wrenching loss to the Georgetown Hoyas just 2 days ago. So you come at them full bore, you put a lot of pressure on them, and you hope now that they start getting a little fatigue, which they are. I think mental fatigue just as much as physical.
Marcus Denman will come into the lineup now. Here's Flip Pressey breaking the double team across midcourt.
And for Missouri, you need the fresh guys on the floor, and Pressey and Denman to come in and make positive contributions. Ratliff included in that number also.
Safford pivots and takes a long stride to the cup to lay it in. 53-44.
Safford's not pretty, but he gets it done.
Yes.
He seals nicely on the inside. That time finds an opening. You had the tough knee injury that really cut down on his explosion and effectiveness.
Lloyd double pumps into the lane, put a spin on that one off the window and in. 53-46. Missouri on top, 10:54 to go here in the second half. Pressey the other way. English at 6'6", Lloyd at 5'10" on the wing. Safford again seals his man, gets the lob, missed the shot, Catron the rebound.
Nice seal, nice speed on the inside. Thought Safford rushed that a little bit.
Catron in transition, wants a look at 3. Narron rips the rebound away from Safford and trips up in the act and walks with a basketball.
Tried to get the time. He rolled into the timeout. He rolled into the timeout. That's what caused the traveling violation. But good hustle on the part of Tyrone Nered out of Woonsocket, Rhode Island. Does a great job out battling Justin Safford for the rebound. And on the roll, that's when you get the traveling violation.
Lloyd nearly intercepts a pick over the end line. He got a piece of it. It went off of English and out of bounds. And another turnover on Missouri.
Sensing a little mental fatigue on the part of the Missouri Tigers, but the only way you can extract that fatigue in your favor is to keep the pressure on if you're Oregon.
Strowbridge will get it in bounds, and Lloyd will take it. Strowbridge, Lloyd, and Armstead, 3 guards, with Nered out there. And Catron, who is 6'6", the tallest of the Ducks.
I like Strowbridge's ability to knock down outside shots along with Lloyd's ability to spot up and hit some jumpers also.
Nered spins in the air, blocked by Ratliff. What a beautiful block that was, and Missouri regains possession. Here comes Marcus Denman.
You know you're going to be challenged in the interior if you're Oregon. You got to finish stronger than that if you're Tyrone Nered.
Phil Pressey for 3 off the back of the iron. Denman had the rebound, but jabbed away from behind by Armstead. Thought he had gotten possession, but Missouri will take it.
That looked like it went off the hands of Marcus Denman, trying to secure that baby in with 2 hands. That's a break for Missouri.
Denman is throttled offensively here in the second half. Will he get it going again?
Will he get it going, and how will Philip Pressey handle the pressure in this kind of a situation? Hostile crowd, your team trying to hold on to a lead.
Ratliff cross court nearly got away from English, and there's an offensive foul as it was Lawrence Bowers putting an elbow in low to gain possession, and a foul call on Bowers.
There's Tyrone Nered going to come over, establish position. There's that shoulder drop, the contact to the chest. Nered helps the official make up his mind by getting to the floor. Tyrone Nered gets a blow. E.J. Singler back on the floor, but Nered did a nice job in facilitating this comeback by the Oregon Ducks.
Lloyd out of backcourt. His speed has been very beneficial to the Ducks here to break this zone. Now he balances the floor, 23 to shoot, 9:19 to play, 53-46 to score.
It's a matchup zone now employed by Mike Anderson.
Singler coming to that open area in the zone, but they forgot about Ratliff coming back down the floor. He dunks the ball, and Singler got a piece of him. It sends Ratliff to the line with a chance at a 3-point play.
Great heads-up play on the part of Lawrence Bowers of Missouri. After the made shot by Singler, it's almost like the Ducks are trying to get themselves back in the defense. Nobody was alert enough to get back and protect the basket. And that's what led to the easy dunk by Ratliff. But Bowers jumped out of bounds to a nice two-handed chest pass bullet to Ratliff for that dunk shot.
Ricardo Ratliff with a 3-point play. Singler with the foul, his 4th. Lloyd into front court. Looking at burned by the defense. Switch right to left hand and laid it in. Outstanding freshman from Las Vegas has put the Ducks to within 6, 8:54 to play.
Looked like another freshman, Kyrie Irvin, last night for Duke, making a similar play, but a good job. I wanted to see how Phil Pressey would respond in this situation. Good penetration and dish on that possession.
Armstead the other way, nearly lost it. Outside to Strowbridge. He'll circle to the center of the court. 8:34 remaining. 8-point lead for Missouri.
I mean, Armstead has had some fluid on the knee, some issues, practiced very little yesterday. And he's a guy, I'm not sure how comfortable he is with the basketball under this kind of pressure.
And Armstead turned it over, palmed the basketball, and so Oregon will take it. Dana Altman will go to get Tyrone Nered, and a 6'8" junior will step in for Singler, who departs. E.J. Singler departs with his 4th foul.
And Dana Altman not sure how comfortable Armstead is with the basketball, pulls him out of the game and puts Garrett Sims. Now that means that Lloyd and Strowbridge will be your primary ball handlers for the Oregon Ducks. I think a good move by Dana Altman.
44-24 score at half, Missouri.
And this is tough pressure to operate against if you're 100% healthy. If you got a bum knee, if you're Malcolm Armstead, it's going to be particularly tough.
Kim English tees it up. Nope. Rebound jabbed away loose. Ball right in front of us. Grabbed at midcourt by Phil Pressey. Initially called a timeout. Hands to Ratliff. Drives the inline and charges right into Catron.
Yeah, that was an interesting sequence. He did call a timeout right in front of us. The official didn't see it. It leads to an offensive charging foul against Ricardo Ratliff. Oregon basketball out of this timeout.
Ratliff in trouble with his 4th foul. Look at E.J. Singler getting a key bucket. He's been Offensively energized, as has Lloyd here in the second half to lead the Ducks back to within 8. Missouri led by 18 points at the 16-minute mark, and Oregon went on a 10-0 run to scramble right back into this game.
Everything coming off the pass. You see Catron using the rim off of nice speed in transition. E.J. Singler going to go back door. Catron returning the favor. Nice find. And then Malcolm Armstead attacking the gaps in the zone, finds Jonathan Lloyd, who has been instrumental in the comeback, and Lloyd on the finish.
E.J. Singler with the 4 fouls has scored 10 of his 12 here in the second half. A 19-9 run by Oregon here in the second half to pull from 16, or I should say 18 down at the 16-minute mark. They've made a game of it. They've forced 7 Missouri turnovers here in the second half.
Out of the timeout, Mike Anderson changes his defense. No more 2-3 matchup.
Lloyd an open 3. Rebound, Catron went right back up and Moore fouled him.
From a 2-3 matchup to straight man-to-man. Lloyd found the open shot, couldn't knock it down. But that was just a case of Jovan Catron outworking Stephen Moore on the inside.
Catron showed this kind of muscle against #1 Duke Saturday afternoon in Portland. This past weekend, 18 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals in that game. And Catron turning it on here. Catron's been outstanding at the free throw line. He has 9 points. He has garnered 5 points from the line here in the second half.
And he's a second half guy also. He scored 65% of his points this season in the second half.
Ducks within 7. The visiting Missouri Tigers head the other way, and Denman with it. Flip pressing out on top of the 6'6" Kim English, a junior. Denman looking to Stephen Moore, post left. Instead goes to the other guard, Pressey, with 18 to shoot.
A lot of casual passes on the part of Missouri. If Oregon's just a bit more active, they can get a deflection or come up with a steal.
Denman elevates for 3, and he got it. Zingo the strings for Denman. Straight away 3.
Now, the way he pulled up on that, I looked at the shot clock thinking maybe it was down to 2 or 3 seconds. There was 10 seconds left in that shot clock. Gives you the level of confidence of Marcus Denman to pull the string on that baby.
His 3rd three-pointer tonight, Marcus, 17 for Denman. 10-point lead for Missouri. 6:48 remaining, and Catron calmly lets go of a 15-footer. Very poised when he let that go, and a timeout called on the court.
Called by Oregon. Dana Altman wants to set his defense. He's going to bring in Malcolm Armstead. We're probably going to see some full-court pressure, but a good play by Jovan Catron, and that's a great individual move. This is individual basketball. He's going to catch the ball at the free throw line. Nice jab to get that defender to fall back a step or 2. You create some space and just buries that nice mid-range jump shot over the big guy, Stephen Moore. He's that 2-1-2. He's that high post guy. There's that jab. You get Moore retreating. Very difficult for a guy Moore's size at 6'9", 270 pounds to recover and contest at the same time. A lot of weight going one direction, the move back the other direction. Nice job, Jovan Catron.
And Dean Altman's been able to settle his Oregon team down in the first half. 7 of 30 they shot from the field. They were rushing shots. They had committed 12 turnovers. Here in the second half, Marcus, his ball club shooting 10 of 17, getting good looks, squaring up, getting back to those fundamentals he talked about when we talked to him yesterday at practice.
Well, and I think, having gone against the #1 team in the country, the Duke Blue Devils, on Saturday, they started off extremely nervous and flustered, settled down, and actually forced Duke into 19 turnovers. I think that's helped them in this kind of a game, going against the #9 team in the country.
8-point lead for Missouri. Powers with it, double team. This is a good lesson, too, for Mike Anderson's Missouri Tigers. Trying to play through fatigue on the road, trying to hold a lead.
Well, Malcolm Armstead's got the task here of the...
He took it into the lane, went into the air, was fouled from behind. His hand caught the rim, feet gave out from beneath him, and he came crashing to the court.
That's a tough landing for the freshman, Philip Presley. He was going up to try and dunk the basketball, and he was in full extension, got knocked off balance. I'm sure Mike Anderson wants a flagrant foul call, but you see Jovan Catron was not giving up the dunk shot. He's watched that YouTube clip also of Philip Presley going in and throwing it down over a 6'9" player this past offseason.
See, the officials will review Catron going up, making a play on the ball.
Well, that's the question.
It appeared anyway. And Narid coming in from behind.
And Presley going to take off, and he's trying to get up and throw that thing down. And it's going to be interesting to see what the officials say. I mean,
Now, Catron goes into the air, makes play on the ball, and comes down just naturally, windmilling his arm. And I think Presley gets into trouble when his hand momentarily on the rim and the feet gave up from beneath him. Looked like he half believed that he was going to be able to hold himself on that rim, but lost contact with the rim and down he came. He is a tough cat, isn't he? Able to bounce up off the floor and walk to the bench. 5'10" freshman out of Dallas, Texas.
And Tara Narid going to actually challenge that ball from behind and gets the block. But Jovan Catron understands the importance of maintaining this momentum, and what a spectacular play by the freshman could do in terms of hurting that momentum. The officials still kind of looking at it to see the intent on the part of Jovan Catron. They're going to huddle and talk about it. Randy McCall, Chris Radstetter, Michael Reed. And that's the hard part here, kind of to determine the intent of Jovan Catron. Was he making a play on the ball? Is it a flagrant foul? Is it an intentional foul?
Now they're officially going to call the foul on Narid, who came in from behind to get a piece of Presley. But as you could clearly see on the replay, it was Tyrone Catron who went up into the chest, but going straight vertical to make a play on the ball, reaching out toward the ball, not windmilling the arm in an attempt to get at the head or anything above the shoulder. Our Big 12 Pac-10 matchup brought to you by Toyo Tires. This week, Kansas defeated UCLA this evening. Kansas ranked number 4 in the country. Kansas State tomorrow will be in Pullman to take on Washington State. Number 9, Missouri, led by 20 at half. Currently up 8 with 6:16 left here in Eugene. Number 11, Baylor, a winner tonight over Arizona State. Texas ranked number 19 in the country at 6-1. Rick Barnes' crew and Lorenzo Romar's Washington Huskies ranked 23 in the country. They'll meet Pat Knight's Red Raiders, Texas Tech, Saturday afternoon. You and I will be there for that broadcast, Marcus.
We got Sunday's game, Texas against USC.
Well, the officials, Randy McCall, Chris Radstetter, and Michael Reed, are actually going to change the foul to Jovan Catron.
They're going to call that one an intentional.
And Michael Dixon will go to the line as Phil Pressey is on the Missouri bench. So Dixon's going to get 2 here.
Rooting for Phil Pressey, the injured player.
And Missouri will get possession of the basketball.
Michael Reed comes by and says they called it an intentional foul against Jovan Catron.
4th personal foul on Catron. So he's able to stay in the game. 2 free throws in possession for Missouri. And a 10-point lead with 6 minutes left. English, fall away 3. Caught rim and sailed out of bounds.
And Mike Anderson, no hesitation. He's getting Kim English out of the game and pronto for that shot selection decision on that last possession. He likes a little patience, a little ball movement, get into your motion, see if you can work for a better shot. That was a little bit too much one-on-one for the likings of Mike Anderson.
And then a quick foul as Matt Pressey tries to impede Lloyd's progress to the ball. And Lloyd, drawing the contact, falls to the floor. And a foul on Missouri.
You know, Pressey had 2 hands on Jonathan Lloyd, and again, give Lloyd a lot of credit. You feel the 2 hands, the pressure. He goes down and kind of puts the onus on the officials to make a call, or not make a call, but at least make them think about it.
Lloyd has had a great hand, and the Ducks coming from 19 back here in the second half. They were down 20 at halftime. Missouri built their largest lead to 22. And Lloyd at the line, getting some help from the crowd. 63-55 count. Lloyd buries 2 free throws. Sim will come out. Strowbridge will check in now for Oregon.
And you get a better matchup defensively with Strowbridge on Marcus Denman.
Dixon, Stephen Moore. That's the way you break that press. That ball didn't hit the court, did it?
You break it on the pass. Break it on the pass. Maybe Dixon takes 1 bounce before he throws that beautiful bounce pass into Stephen Moore.
Lloyd the other way penetrates, gives to Singler, clears out a man with the pivot move to Strowbridge for 3, buried it. Well, the Ducks have been red hot here in the second half. That pulls them backward in 7 with 5.5 minutes to play.
That's what they bring J.R. Strowbridge in to do. Shoot the basketball. Started out of Nebraska, went to Jacksonville, took advantage of an NCAA rule that once you graduate, you get that 5th year.
Oh, undeterred. Matt Pressey drives into the lane, right through the defense to lay it in.
Junior college All-American out of Navarro Junior College in Texas. A nice job in this game. Defensively, taking it to the basket, knocking down the outside shot for him when it's there.
E.J. Singler on the wing. He's been hot here in the second half till he picked up his 4th foul, had to go to the bench, playing now with 5 minutes left in this ball game.
It's almost like that stoppage of play with the intentional is taking some of the wind out of this crowd here at Matt Court.
Singler turnaround jump shot. There's that mid-range jump shot you talked about at halftime. Here's Michael Dixon the other way into the lane to the glass. Fouled by Narrett, who got a piece from behind.
Michael Dixon Jr. keeping the pressure on. Now, he was a young man against Georgetown who committed the foul with about 13 seconds left against Chris Wright. They're up in that game. They don't need a foul in that situation, but he keeps the pressure on Oregon here by pushing the ball up the floor and drawing the contact.
Michael Dixon just celebrated his 20th birthday yesterday. And for his birthday, he got a 5-hour flight here to the Pacific Northwest.
Happy birthday, Michael Dixon Jr. His dad, Michael Dixon Sr., is the all-time assist leader at San Jose State. And was the guy he credits with teaching him the game from a point guard's perspective.
Dixon from Lee's Summit West High School, Kansas City, Missouri. One of 4 players from Kansas City on this Missouri team.
This is what's tough for Oregon. You just don't know what kind of defense Missouri's going to line up in there. It looks like they're in a 2-3 matchup zone. They are, but it's a matchup zone with some aggressive overplay the wings, overplay the entry pass, you know, dominate and double team the post as much as possible. You're scrambling out there.
Singler passed up a shot to give Armstead a look at 3. Wide open look, and Armstead buries the 3, and the Ducks hanging right in there. Armstead's first bucket here in the second half. 4:23 left in the contest. Here in Eugene, 69-63, number 9 Missouri.
And I believe another timeout called by Dana Altman after the made bucket to set his defense. You're going to see Oregon just a nice job of moving the basketball around, just trying to find the open shot. Again, Missouri, you know, right here, one or two offensive player against one defensive player. That's the kind of advantage you want, that 2-on-1 against the weak side of that zone defense. You make that defender have to make a decision. He's playing in between. Gives Armstead just enough time to get that shot off and bury it.
Well, join us Friday night for our next Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series telecast. Reigning Pac-10 Player of the Week, Klay Thompson, and the Washington State Cougars host number 5, Kansas State, with Jacob Pullen, the school's all-time leader in three-pointers made. The Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series presented by Toyo Tires, continuing tomorrow night at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific.
Good test for the Cougars. They've got some help, some shooting help. Faisal Aiden for Washington State, along with D'Angelo Castro, their big guy inside. But Kansas State, Frank Martin, their coach, always tough.
Missouri up 6, 4:11 to play. Ducks in the zone. Dixon surveys the scene and finds a wide open shooter. It's Matt Pressey, air ball, grabbed by Denman, alertly grabbing the rebound, taking it right back up. He is fouled.
That's a tough break for the Ducks. You know, you got the shot you want. You got the newcomer, the JC transfer, Matt Pressey, shooting an air ball from the left corner. But again, J.R. Strowbridge at 5'10", trying to wrestle inside with Marcus Denman, gives up the offensive rebound.
Strowbridge's third foul, and Denman, who had 13 in the first half, now has 5 here in the second half on the free throw. Nerad will come out, and back in comes Catron for the Ducks.
I like Nerad. I mean,
yes,
he made some good moves against Duke this past weekend, just didn't finish. He's finished, he's hustled, showed some nice hands, some nice intensity in terms of pressuring the basketball in Oregon's traps in the backcourt.
Well, we talked about the benefits of this series, Marcus, before the game. You can see the benefits for the Oregon Ducks. They play number 1 and number 9. Here's Armstead for 3, Missy. Catron the rebound, spins into traffic, had it jabbed away, and a foul called, and Catron will go to the line. We've seen the Ducks settle down in the second half against Duke, settle down here in the second half against the Missouri Tigers, and compose themselves. And as a result, they have pulled from 22 back to get within 8, and a timeout called. 3:45 left in this one from Eugene, Oregon. The Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series is presented by Toyo Tires. Toyo Tires, driven to perform. And brought to you in part by Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper is giving away over $1 million in tuition. Go to drpepper.com for details. Welcome back to Mack Court. It's known as the Pit, and Missouri finding out why. 71-63, number 9, Missouri leading the Oregon Ducks. Oregon down 20 at halftime. Marcus Johnson, Kevin Calabro on hand. How have the Ducks been able to scramble back into this thing?
Well, I think their pressure has really bothered Missouri. This is a Missouri team that's logged a lot of miles, a lot of games these past 2 weeks, and then they've knocked down their shots, something they didn't do in that first half, and give J.R. Strowbridge, he was brought in as a transfer to give them some outside shooting. He didn't do it in the first half. He's done it along with E.J. Singler in this second half.
Yeah, the Ducks have put some points on the board in the second half against a defensive-minded Missouri team. 39 second-half points scored by the Oregon Ducks.
And for Oregon, they've got a small team on the floor. It's imperative that they do a good job defensive rebounding the basketball.
Catron splits a pair of free throws. 7-point Missouri lead. Michael Dixon, Matt Pressey, the guards.
You got a box and one. You got a box and one with J.R. Strowbridge trying to deny Marcus Denman any kind of touch of the basketball.
Missouri with 3 guards out there, and Denman trying to get open. Strowbridge denies him.
You got to send him some screens. Nobody's setting the screen. It caught Missouri completely by surprise coming out of that timeout. Good adjustment on the part of Dana Altman and his staff. A box and one thrown at Marcus Denman.
Singler with that defensive rebound, and the Ducks bring it back outside with 3 minutes remaining, trailing by 7. Armstead driving, pulls up, off balance, missed the shot. All black jerseys on that rebound. Denman with it.
And just a little bit too much one-on-one for Marcus, for Malcolm Armstead. You know, the ball kind of sticks in his hand. Again, that box and one defense. You see Strowbridge out top at near the three-point line and beyond, face guarding Marcus Denman.
Let's send it down to the court, and Rebecca.
Well, guys, in the last timeout, Missouri looking somewhat frustrated, but definitely no signs of panic down here on the sideline. I caught up with Kim English, and he says, with the pace we play, we break teams down eventually. We trust and believe we're one run away from getting back or closing out any ball game. We've got a lot of confidence in that. They're playing together right now, guys.
Rebecca Harlow, thank you. Yeah, after all, they were down 18 with 9 minutes left in the first half to Georgetown to come back and take a late lead. Oh, tip jam! Way up top, Lawrence Bowers leaning back and tomahawking it back home.
Talked about the defensive rebounding for Oregon. That is going to be their weak spot with this small lineup on the floor. Good job, Missouri, going away from Marcus Denman.
Oh, a pick and fade, and Singler screens, then rolls and drills another three-pointer. And the Ducks aren't dead. They pull within 6 with 2:10 left. And Singler has 15 of his 17 registered here in the second half. 3 on three-point shots.
And I feel like I'm watching Ben Howland of UCLA, who loves to call timeouts after made baskets. That's the 3rd time Dana Altman has called that timeout. But here's that offensive rebound by Lawrence Bowers. Gets a running start from about 12 feet away from the bucket. Nobody puts a body on him. E.J. Singler doing his job boxing out, but it's the smaller players that have got to find the body of these long, lanky, athletic rebounders for Missouri here down the stretch.
Well, and remember, Singler's playing with 4 fouls, so defensively he's going to play a little soft. Missouri leading by 6, 2:10 left in the second, but you don't dare leave Singler out because he's scoring the basketball.
Singler boxed this guy out, but here's Singler, nice job on the mid-range jump shot. That's called the short corner right there, and then his confidence sky high, has no hesitation pulling the trigger on the three-point shot. So E.J. coming up huge here in the second half against Missouri.
6 of 7 shooting from the field for Singler, but remember, with the 4 fouls, he comes to help trap Dixon. Dixon gets rid of it, and Missouri now with a 6-point lead. 2 minutes remaining. We'll set it up.
Box and one, J.R. Strowbridge shutting out Marcus Denman, who's doing a nice job trying to get himself open.
Matt Pressey into the lane to Ratliff. He'll lay it in.
But again, you allow Denman now to become a decoy. You know, you get him to kind of get the defender to chase, get that help guy kind of leaning his direction. You find that soft spot in that 4-man zone, and then it's a 2-on-1 situation for you offensively if you're Missouri.
1:36 left. Singler fades outside. Comes off the screen, turns the corner, laid it up and in. He sure is. He's now 7 of 8 in the period.
He is feeling it right now. It's what confidence can do for you.
Oh, and Missouri throws it away. Bowers throws it away for the 19th turnover of the night. Charge to Missouri, and the door is still open to the Ducks. who trail here by 6 with 1:20 remaining.
Mike Anderson pointing to his head, telling Lawrence Bowers to, think, slow down and think, and just wait for the opening in the backcourt. No need to hurry that pass into the front court over the head of Matthew Pressey.
Will they go to Singler again? Armstead drives inside, and the foul's called on Matt Pressey for the bump.
Fortunately for Missouri, that foul call against Pressey, Jovan Catron buried that three-pointer, which would have made this a one-possession game. Would have cut it to a three-point lead.
Well, the number 9 Missouri Tigers came in here. Their 7th game in 14 days, ranked number 9 in the country, took a 20-point halftime lead. Oregon got a 10-0 run early in the half. And Oregon now on a run, a 7-2 run as Armstead scores on the free throw. 75-69 score. The Ducks now within striking range with 1:06 remaining. They are within 4 at 75-71. Dixon up top. Great feed to Bowers for the two-handed slam.
That's the best thing you're going to get against this pressure of Oregon, just to push the ball up the floor and look for your advantage.
But Catron answers on an early post move and laid it in.
And yet another timeout after a made bucket by Dana Altman. That's the 4th time. Got to set that defense. I'm sure we're going to see some pressure, some double teaming, some traps in the backcourt. But a nice job of isolating Jovan Catron right there, one-on-one in the low post. Little drop step middle. Jump hook fade, gets the soft kiss off the glass and gets it to fall. And they just kind of spread things down, spread 4 guys out on the perimeter, give Catron that whole inside area to operate. Nice offensive call on the part of the Oregon Ducks.
(44-24) at half, Missouri leading the Ducks. And here in the second half, a 49-33 edge. Held by Oregon to pull within 4. This is the closest Oregon has been since it was 3-0 in the first 20 seconds of the contest.
Because of foul trouble now, you're going to see some substitutions. You're going to get, I believe, Garrett Simchuk into the game. Also Tyrone Narek, who's done a nice job on this front line, trapping the basketball in the corners. He's long, he's active. He can get you some deflections that may lead to a turnover.
Well, Dana Altman using his timeouts wisely, Marcus. He'll substitute defense for offense now and leave Singler on the bench with 4 fouls, 52 and 5/10 seconds left.
Singler and Catron both on the bench. You got a real quick lineup on the floor now in terms of pressuring the basketball. But once again, imperative that you box out and get that and secure that defensive rebound.
Missouri by 4. Bowers to bring it in bounds. They send Ratliff streaking down the court. He's covered. The inbounds comes to Denman. Up the floor to Michael Dixon. Dixon has it jabbed away by Lloyd, and a foul called on Jonathan Lloyd. And so Dixon will step up. Dixon, a 77% free throw shooter coming into tonight's contest, is 4 of 4 from the line. Missouri hasn't attempted many free throws, 13 of 16. And Oregon has outscored him 19-13 at the line. Well, Michael Dixon rolls off the free throw. Started 8 games last year. He's one of 3 former Missouri State Players of the Year. Back in 09, the sophomore now will square up on this next one. The Ducks substitute Narrett out and Sims out. Here's Dixon's second free, though. It's up and in.
They put their offensive unit back on the floor. Now, Mike Anderson's taking out Ricardo Ratliff. He's going to put in Stephen Moore for his interior defense. He knows that the Ducks may try and go back to Catron, posting up on the inside.
2-possession game. Armstead goes up, and Moore blocks the shot. But it's recovered by Catron. Leaning up, and it just won't go. Off the front rim, he's fouled. And Jovan Catron again to the line. Been very active here in the second half.
Jovan Catron bails out the Ducks on that play. Armstead comes down. I thought shot a shot that may be a little bit forced. But Catron picks up the offensive rebound, uses that wide 245-pound body. Dukes able to try and put his team even closer to the number 9 ranked Missouri Tigers. Blows the first free.
Catron 6 of 10 from the line, 14.6 rebounds. Jovan Catron, the Received a medical hardship waiver from the Pac-10 last year. Missed the last 28 games with an injury to the back. Fifth-year senior at the line. And the free throw is good. 4-point lead for Missouri. Narron will come in. Catron will depart with 37 and 6/10 seconds remaining. And full court pressure now applied again by the Ducks.
You want Narron all over the basketball. You want Narron to trap. There's Narron, long arms. Didn't get the deflection. They get it out easily. They've got numbers if they choose to use them.
Dixon to Bowers. Pressey. Outside they go to Dixon, waiting for the foul that's coming, and Strowbridge bumped him. With 28 and 3/10 seconds left, Missouri again goes to the line with a 4-point lead.
And I'm not sure if Mike Anderson wanted Matt Pressey to pull that back out. I thought he believed that Pressey had a chance to get in there for a strong finish and a layup to give you a 6-point lead, but now they've got to earn them at the free throw line.
Well, Marcus, what's your impression of both these clubs as they play here in this hardwood series?
Well, you know, I love the way Oregon continues to battle, even in the loss to Duke by 30 points. I saw some good signs of the hustle, the scrappiness. Then, of course, Missouri, this is a team that's logged a lot of miles, a lot of games these past couple of weeks, 7 games in 14 days, traveled over 7,000 miles between Missouri and Cancun and Eugene. So, you know, you just got to love the effort of both these basketball clubs.
Well, E.J. Singler and Jovan Catron have been the catalyst offensively for this ball club. 17 of his 19 points Singler has scored here in the second half.
Done a great job, E.J. Singler, of knocking down that mid-range jump shot. I talked about what he was going to have to do to score. Not a whole lot happening for him on the inside, but once he knocks down that outside shot, now the defenders have got to step up, put more pressure on him. The driving lanes become open.
E.J.'s played a whale of a game. 7 of 12 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3, Marcus. 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 19 points for E.J. Singler.
How many times has he given up the body trying to pick up an offensive foul? He's picked up a couple of those, picked up a couple of blocking fouls also in the process, but you know, he has been consistently on the deck.
That 19, by the way, is a new career high for the sophomore from South Medford High School, Medford, Oregon.
I like this Mike Anderson. He puts a lot of pressure on the inbounds attempt by the Oregon Ducks. They almost come up with a turnover. They're man-to-man, they're face guarding. They're not going to make this easy. They're not going to sit back in a soft zone or soft man-to-man. They're putting some pressure on Oregon, make them waste some time and maybe force them into a turnover.
Lloyd will bring it up. Picks up his dribble, cross court to Armstead. Now to Lloyd, 17 seconds left. Shoots the 3 and scores. Lloyd hits a 3-pointer to pull the Ducks to within 3. A foul stops the clock with 14 and 4/10 seconds left. Strowbridge fouls Dixon, who will head to the line now.
I love Jonathan Lloyd, what he brings to the table. Just that football player kind of toughness. You know, this is a great shot in a real tough situation. Gets the kick-out pass from Malcolm Armstead. He's got a closeout defender running out at him, and that's nothing but the bottom of the net. That's the kind of focus he had on that shot. And Michael Dixon missed a big free throw against Georgetown down the stretch, which could have made that a 2-possession game. But here he is once again with a chance to redeem himself at McCourt.
J.R. Strowbridge is fouled off for the Ducks. 15 points for Strowbridge. 4 of 9 from the field, 3 of 5 from 3. Dixon this evening, 7 of 8 from the line. This one is up and in.
That's the great thing about college basketball. You feel the disappointment of not coming through for your club on a Tuesday, on a Thursday, a chance for redemption.
Dixon's second free throw good. 5-point lead for the Ducks. I should say for Missouri. 14 seconds left. Here comes Lloyd. Another 3. And he buries another one.
Okay, I like this kid. This kid from Vegas got a lot of heart. A lot of guts. Got to foul him. Got to get him.
Got to get to him, and they do. But a full 2 seconds ticked off the clock. 5 and 3/10 seconds left. And Pressey will head to the line. 82-80.
Jonathan Lloyd, 5'9" point guard out of Bishop Gorman High School, just knocked down a 3-pointer. The possession before that comes right back off the dribble, buries it, puts the pressure on Matt Pressey, the junior college transfer.
And boy, is this place loud, the pit. MacArthur Court. Pressey at the line. Doesn't seem to be at all swayed by the noise. He hits the free throw. Kim English will come in for Missouri. and more will depart. 5 3/10 seconds left. 83-80. Number 9, Missouri, getting a scare here in Eugene tonight.
Used to have the backboard suspended by cables, but this crowd would be so animated they would make the basket swing.
Missed the free throw. Stringler with 3. A chance to tie. Lloyd lets it go. It was right on line, but fell short by about a foot. And what a second half played by the Oregon Ducks, who were down 20 at half. Missouri gets out of here with a win barely, 83-80.
Terrific basketball game. Great coaching on the part of Mike Anderson from Missouri. Dana Altman in particular mixing up his defenses, going to a box and one. Great effort on the part of this young man, Jonathan Lloyd, gonna shoot the air ball on this long three-point attempt to end the game to try and tie it up, but he knocked down some big shots, played with a lot of heart. This is a game, this team is picked to finish last in the Pac-10. These Oregon Ducks, they are going to beat some people in the Pac-10 this season, you mark my words.
Let's send it down now to Rebecca Harlow.
Coach, a bit of a scare there down the stretch. How would you describe the end of this ball game?
Cardiac kids. It's been like that, it seemed like all year long. We got to grow up. We had a great first half. In the second half, we came out really, really flat. Credit Oregon. They wouldn't go away. The fans kept them in it, and we just got to clean up some things and get better.
Coming off the loss to Georgetown in a similar fashion, how important was it to come back and get this win tonight for your club?
Well, one of the things we did, we made free throws. We made some free throws going down the stretch, guys that missed free throws in the earlier game. So that's a good sign there. We're just going to continue to grow and get better.
Congratulations, Coach.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Rebecca. Oregon incredibly poised, 62% in the second half shooting.
Yeah, again, this is something for Dana Altman, his program, to build upon. This is a team that's picked to finish last. They're going to beat a lot of teams in Missouri. You know, they were fortunate to come out of here with the win.
Remember to join us Friday at 11 Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific for our next Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series game presented by Toyo Tires as number 5 Kansas State visits Washington State. Now this is Kevin Calabro for Marcus Johnson and Rebecca Harlow. We'll say so long from Eugene, Oregon, where Missouri, number 9 in the country, survives 83-80. You've been watching the Big 12 Pac-10 Hardwood Series presented by Toyo Tires.